What's good? We back with the Boxing Clinic and more. It's your boy CJ Goodfellow. One time for the one time. Y'all know what the business is. Shout out to the LDBC, man. Today we was watching. We went live for a minute. Carl Frampton was taking on Luke Jackson from Australia. And there was just levels to this, man. You know, the UK announcer was saying, oh, he's a level above. And or the Showtime, Brian Custer, Steve Farhood. No. Carl Frampton was head, shoulders, knees, and toes above Luke Jackson. Luke Jackson had a really, really solid jab, and he had an excellent outfit coming to the ring. But neither one of those things can help him inside the ring. He never pressed Frampton to test Frampton's win. It been talks about Frampton fading in fights versus Nonino Donaire. He got dropped when he faded. He faded in a lot of different fights. Luke Jackson wasn't able to answer any of the stamina issues, but Frampton at 31 years old was still sharp. He dropped Luke Jackson to the body. He was murdering Luke Jackson's body. Finally dropped him, hurt him again. Eventually his corner through the towel in 9 rounds. And there's no doubt about it. I call him Chris Algieri. He looks like Chris Algieri, but Carl Frampton dominated this fight. His hand speed, his patience, his punch placement, his accuracy, his overall boxing skills is too much. He is one of the better featherweights in boxing, and Luke Jackson found out that he got a long way to go if he ever was to get on to this level, which we don't know if he will get to this level. You know, we don't know. But right now it was one loss. He need to get back to the drawing board, build back up, maybe bring some assistants into his team. But right now, Luke Jackson didn't even test Carl Frampton. He really didn't even break a sweat fighting this guy, man. This was basically a glorified sparring match. This was a tune-up, stay busy type of fight. Should have been Josh Warrington in there with him tonight. But I believe this might have been for the interim WBO title, whatever it may be that was fighting for it. But I know Oscar Valdez, you know, Frampton, they want to make that fight. Bob Aaron's been interested to make that fight. Frank Warren been interested in that fight. But Valdez has a long way to go. He's with Eddie Reynoso and Chapo Reynoso, whatever they name, Canelo Alvarez's coaches. Training. He coming off a broken jaw. So he might get 2 or 3 fights in next year or get some easy fights in next year. So Carl Frampton might have to count him out until he gets back in full effect. But Frampton has barely been making weight. Even though all this new nutrition, this new training he's been doing, he stripped down just barely to make weight. So he might be busting at the seam. He might have to move up to 130, which might be a step outside of his truth. But if you want to stick around at 130, why not get Gary Russell a spin? You know what I'm saying? This wasn't a tough fight. It's August. You can come back in December and fight Gary Russell on the pay-per-view undercard of Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, or Mikey and Earl Spence. You know, I'm tired of these dudes trying to maneuver and trying to pick and choose who they fight. Come get a championship title shot. Don't pick and choose Santa Cruz. We'll talk about him in a minute. Or if you can't make Josh Warrington, why don't you go for the number 1 guy at the weight? You know, most people might say Leo Santa Cruz, but we all know Santa Cruz can't touch Gary Russell. He's scared of Gary Russell. And if Santa Cruz don't want to take that Gary Russell fight that's supposed to be scheduled for the back end of the year of December, man, why not Carl Frampton step up? Carl Frampton got skills. Carl Frampton can punch. Carl Frampton got speed, but he don't really believe in himself good enough to take the Gary Russell fight. And that's the kind of MO that I'm getting, though. You know what I'm saying? You know, we know Leo Santa Cruz will rematch Carl Frampton, so why not go for Gary Russell? You know, big pay-per-view fight, big opportunity to step up on the stage and get your shine on, man. A lot of people would love to see that fight, man. You know, love to see Gary Russell and Leo Santa Cruz on an undercard of Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, if that's possible, or maybe Mikey and Earl Spence. It's a fight that makes sense. If you can't get Josh Warrington, even before Josh Warrington, you should want to hold this hot fight to the highest value other than your rematch with Leo Santa Cruz. This should be the fight that you should want to fight. You know what I'm saying? A guy that's seen to be the number 1 talent at the featherweight division. And if not, you know, guess what? Once you move up, he moving up as well to the 130. So in actuality, it don't matter. You might as well get it popping now or forever duck Gary Russell like everybody else is doing. You know, but I think it'd be a tremendous fight. I would give Carl Frampton the chance to beat Gary Russell. But I think ultimately Gary Russell would beat the dog walking shit out of him. It's just levels to this. But Frampton is a hell of a fighter. I will tell you that again. Him and Josh Warrington is a hell of a fight, man. That's a really, really good fight. You know, I wouldn't even want to go. I mean, I understand it domestic-wise in the UK. That's a big domestic fight. But, you know, it's time. At Frampton, it's time to step up and make you a universal star, man. But Josh Warrington is a dangerous fight, too. He might not pack up the biggest punch, but he tough and he game. He gonna really test Carl Frampton's stamina. If he get tired with Josh Warrington, a young, hungry champion who just got his belt, he not a complacent champion as far as Gary Russell. He's still young and hungry and proving that he's one of the best featherweights in the world. And that's a very, very dangerous fight for Carl Frampton too. A real young, hungry lion like Warrington that don't pack a big punch, but he's very, very aggressive. You know, he got a style that might wear down Carl Frampton and make Carl Frampton, burn out due to lack of stamina. We know Frampton has had stamina issues, and like Warrington ain't the biggest puncher, but he broke down Lee Shelby. He punched hard enough. I think he will punch hard enough to be able to get a late stoppage on Carl Frampton. But I think Frampton is very, very skilled. But anybody that's as edgy and gutter and that's dirty, and I say that in the most complimentary way, as Josh Warrington will give a guy like a Carl Frampton a problem, especially if he works the body. He's tenacious. You know, his jaw is good. And down the stretch, he'll start sweeping rounds when Frampton's energy level starts to fade. It's clear to see that Frampton just doesn't really have an energy level at 126 no more because he's outgrown the weight class. He's trying to force himself to make a weight that he can't make no more. So, it'd be wise for him to move up to 130 because the competition is going to move to 130. Santa Cruz said he's moving to 130. Gary Russell said he's getting ready to move to 130. Josh Warrington, I'm not sure. Lee Shelby's already moved up to 130. So, I mean, the fights are going to be there, you know what I'm saying? Especially if Tank is really getting up out of there. Albert Machado is moving up. So, certain guys are moving up and getting out of the weight. So, it might serve, it might serve Carl Frampton right to move up right now and just, get more comfortable and have more space to eat and get more nutrients and get more food in your system and all that and have more stamina up there, have a more comfortable be at a more comfortable weight for him right now. I know it's a stretch to go to 130, but if you can't make 126, that 4 extra pounds might be a difference, especially with the bigger 130 pounders moving up like Machado and Gervonta Tank Davis. I mean, then you got Tevin Farmer. He ain't the biggest puncher. Burchett been in a lot of wars and will continue to be in tough fights due to his style. He's been stopped one, so something to look at. And Leo Santa Cruz, the ultimate prize. He fought Santa Cruz 2 times in the United States, I believe in L.A., and Santa Cruz was scared to, fight him in Windsor Park or in Belfast, Ireland. He takes no chances, But at the end of the day, I felt Carl Frampton fought a stupid fight the second fight. He fought a fight like he needed a knockout, similar to Timothy Bradley and the Manny Pacquiao second fight, how Bradley fought. But, this dude is a punk. You have to go back to L.A. and fight a smart fight like you did the first fight. I think Frampton is a way more talented fighter than Santa Cruz. Santa Cruz just has some physical advantages. But let me know how y'all feel. Shout out to Carl Frampton, 9th round stoppage, throwing the towel style over Luke Action Jackson tonight. Luke Action Jackson tonight had the best outfit in boxing I've probably seen all year tonight and still got whooped on. But don't forget, we on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and also the podcast link, S1210's College Sports Most Wanted. That link is there as well. If you want to donate, the PayPal link is there as well. I want y'all guys to go subscribe to the brother Junior the Truth. Junior the Truth, a link will be in the description. Let's get him to 1,000 subscribers. Make sure y'all go check out the link in the description. Junior the Truth. We out.